What's going on, baseball fans? Welcome to another week of MLB Hot Takes. We're going to be talking a little Brandon Crawford, Cody Bellinger, Mike Trout, the Mets, the White Sox. Let's get to it. What's going on, baseball fans? Welcome to the show. What's going on? Hope everyone's having a good week. Happy Thursday, everyone. Seeing around 50 people in the chat so far. Good to see you guys coming out tonight for the 10th episode of MLB Hot Takes. Hey, we made it to double digits. All right. When I first did Hot Takes, I think we only got like 500 views or something like that. Maybe, I don't know, not even 500, maybe like 400 something, but hey, we've been consistently doing this every week. We've been having a lot of fun with this. You guys have been sending in some really good ones. So yeah, episode 10, a little bit of a milestone there, I guess. We hit double digits. But again, hope everyone's having a good week. Hope everyone is ready for the weekend. I know I am. I'm going to Boston this weekend. I am excited. Going to see the Red Sox and the Indians on Sunday. Pretty excited about that. I'm always a happy boy when I go back to Fenway Park. It's just tingles me deep in my loins. What can I say? But we got some good hot takes tonight. We're going to be talking Brandon Crawford, Cody Bellinger, a little bit of Mike Trout. That's going to be a fun one. And there's a few more sprinkled in there as well. I want to thank all of you for submitting your hot takes for this week. I think we got to a little close to 80 for this week. So, hey, thank you everyone for submitting them. I always love seeing them. I always usually post for you guys to give me your hot takes on the community tab on my channel. I usually post it in the morning, so throughout the day, I always just I love reading what you guys leave for me. So, but yeah, that's all I got to say for that. But if I may, if you guys can, hit that subscribe button. If you are new, we are very close to 13.4K subscribers. We are on the road to 14,000. Channel has been a little slow as of late. Hopefully we start to pick up the pace as the playoff race tightens down the stretch here in September. Pretty excited. We got the playoffs about a month away. So the goal is to get to 15,000 by the end of the playoffs. We'll have to see if we can get there. If you guys can, hit that like button for me. YouTube likes that like button. Hit the bell button if you want to be notified of all videos and streams. And hit that share button if you can share it out anywhere you can. So, I'm not going to waste any time here. We're going to start off hot. The first hot take of tonight from Greg F. Optioning Cody Bellinger to AAA would push the Dodgers over the edge and overcome the Giants. So the first thing, actually, when is the AAA season ending? Is that over now? I'm not even sure, but whatever. We'll stick with the idea of the fact, of sending him down to the minor leagues, is getting him off of the roster any way you can. What in the heck has been going on with Cody Bellinger this year? Actually, real quick before, hold on, I did not get the music set. Let me get the music right. I know you guys like that background music. It's always nice to set the mood. Let me get this on really quick. I always forget to get this music on for you guys. But here we go. I think we got it. Alrighty. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. So back to Cody Bellinger. Okay, so look at the year. Like, what in the world? I mean, granted, Cody Bellinger had his injuries this year. He's had his ups and downs staying healthy. And it looks like it's really translated into just an awful season. He's just all over the place. Dave Roberts actually said recently, a few days ago, that we likely won't see, I cannot talk right now. We likely won't see Cody Bellinger start against lefties moving forward. So let's go take a look at the splits. Well, as you can see here for the year, a negative 1.1 WAR, 9 home runs, 100. I literally cannot talk right now. A 172 batting average, 32 RBIs, 247 on base. It's like, wow, this is a guy that won the MVP back in 2019. Just an incredible season. It's really funny with Cody Bellinger. I remember saying this in that 2017 season when he came up and he was all the rage. Everyone was just gushing over Cody Bellinger. The first thing I thought, I was like, he's got that big swing. He's got a lot of movement in that swing. I was always worried if he was going to slump at some point. And he has had his slumps. He was slumping last year. 2018, he had his ups and downs that year as well. He still had a pretty solid season for the most part. He played every single game that year. But he definitely had his struggles at times. And then 2019, he won the MVP, but then 2020, you started to see some holes in his swing. And then this year, getting hurt. So I was always worried about Cody Bellinger going through some kind of a slump. And so in a way, I'm not surprised about this. But let's take a look at his splits. So like we just read, Dave Roberts not going to be playing Cody Bellinger all that much against lefties. If we take a look at his splits, so I mean, look at what he's doing against lefties. He's only hitting 125, only 1 home run off of lefties. Let's actually look at his career splits. If we take a look at his career against lefties, so he's always been better against righties. So, but against lefties, he hasn't been all that bad. He's hit 240. He's where is it? 40 home runs in his career against lefties. Obviously, he's way better against righties. So, you hate to see Cody Bellinger. Who would have thought this guy would have just turned into, a platoon player at this point? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But considering, when is the AAA season over? When is that AAA season over? I feel like it's ending like now, right? Let's see here. I can't I think it's like the middle of September, or are they doing the playoffs right now? I'm not quite sure. Yeah, so it looks like, yeah, we're still, okay, yeah, I think they're in the playoffs. I mean, he definitely could go down. I'm not sure if the Dodgers affiliate, I'm not sure how the playoffs work in the minor leagues. I'm not sure if their, AAA team is in the playoffs right now. But I feel like, there could be a guy on the Dodgers. If we take a look at their minor league stats, I mean, goodness, could you maybe just call someone up to replace him? I mean, good grief. So if we take a look here at the Oklahoma City team. So taking a look, I mean, who are maybe some guys? Again, I'm not sure which guys are, still down there. I think, didn't Ronhale Ravello go to like Japan or something like that? I feel like I read that somewhere. So, I mean, I'm not really sure which guys are even still, here on the AAA roster. I'd have to look more into it. But, for the Dodgers, I mean, you got to think here, is Cody Bellinger hurting your team? Is he, I mean, I would think right now, I think that's the sensible move, is to just play him against lefties with Cody Bellinger. What you are getting with him is you are going to get some good defense. Usually this is a guy who's had some very good defense. How is he doing defensively this year? Cody Bellinger, what are we doing? Actually, not very good defense this year, negative 0.3. I just think this guy's hurt. I think he's just, if he is healthy right now, if he is feeling fine, I still think he's just trying to work his way back in. You got to remember, this guy had basically a broken leg, so this whole year is just completely down the tubes for him. I mean, at this point, I think you keep Bellinger, my personal opinion, I think you keep Bellinger on the bench. Orioles moderator, what's going on, my friend? I think you keep Bellinger on the bench at this point, have him go up against righties. I think that's the best thing for Cody Bellinger right now. Keep it simple with him. Have him go up against righties. He's always been better against righties in his career. So I think that's the sensible move. I wouldn't get rid of him completely, but it definitely wouldn't help to maybe, or it definitely would help to go down maybe against some, lower tier pitching, maybe get his groove back a little bit. I mean, I don't think it's a terrible idea if he can go back and play a little minor leagues, give him a couple of weeks there, get his swing rejuvenated a little bit, kind of take some pressure off of him, especially in like a tight playoff race like it is right now. But then again, you also have to consider, I'm sure Cody Bellinger is, a huge clubhouse presence for the Dodgers. I'm sure all the guys there, really pulling for him. They all understand what he's been going through this year. Like I said, had a leg fracture this year, so it's never easy to come back from. But, I think there's a lot of factors that come into play with the Cody Bellinger, but I don't think it's a terrible idea to get him some minor league at-bats if that's possible. At the most right now, I think this is the best thing to do with a Cody Bellinger. Have him just go up against righties, maybe pinch hit off the bench, so on. But that's what I'm thinking. But let me know what you guys think here in the chat. Tell me what you think. What do you think? Cody Bellinger down to the minor leagues, get some minor league at-bats? Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. Let me see what you guys think. What's going on? Matthew Pope, how are we doing? Going to sister's house 2 days. Sister's taking me to a flea market. Gotta love a good flea market. The Joe Cronin Show is here. Man. Joe, I agree with you. What was up with the commentary last night? What are we doing with the commentary? I mean, come on. Jim Ross, he sounds like he's asleep. CM Punk is throwing hands for the first time in 7 years, 8 years, whatever it is, and he just sounds like he's asleep. Joe Cronin, please get on the AEW commentary. He drops a $5 super chat. Go Red Sox. Hey, they're winning right now. Got the game on here. I think it's, 4-0 right now. Yeah, Wander Franco's up. Eduardo Rodriguez pitching a great game tonight. Great game for Erod tonight. Yeah, 4-0 Red Sox at the moment. Hey, they have not been able to beat the Rays this year. They have had, they did in the beginning, but I don't know what was going on there for a stretch. I felt like the Rays were just winning every single game, minus one game where Boston put up around 20 runs against them. But the Rays have had the Red Sox number lately, so it's nice to see the Red Sox getting some wins against Tampa Bay. Could they make a run at the division? I think it's a little too late now, but have to wait and see. SF Giants headline, IG, you think Logan Webb is a top 10 starting pitcher? Logan Webb has been pitching his hiney off in the last few weeks, man. He has been so good. I've always liked me some Logan Webb. Always loved that changeup when he was coming up. So, Matthew Pope, yes, I do have the extra inning package. I do. So, it's been very nice this year. Very nice. So, I will definitely be getting the extra inning package from now on. So, Tyler Burbeck, what's going on? Hot take, Logan Webb wins the Cy Young. Well, we got to go look at this now. We got to go look before I move on to the next hot take. So where are we at? Let's go to Fangraphs here. Let's share the screen. There's the super chat, $2. Thank you very much, Tyler Burbeck. Really appreciate that, my friend. But let's see. Where is Logan Webb on here? He's got to be top 30 at this point. I don't know how the innings, if he's does he have the qualified amount of innings at this point? Let's go 50 innings. Where is Logan Webb? Maybe he's not top 30. Oh, let me see here. Logan Webb, but either way, he's having a really good season. Where are we at here? Yeah, so he's not top 30 as of right now, but, he has a 2.4 WAR over 105 in a third innings pitched. Look at the ERA at 2.65. FIP is looking really dandy as well at a 3.03. Logan Webb has just been awesome. I actually want to go take a look at some of the advanced numbers with him on Baseball Savant. This guy has a Looney Tunes changeup. I love me a good changeup. In all of baseball, I know everyone, likes the fastball. They like the slider, like a good curveball. Me, I'm a changeup kind of a guy. Pedro Martinez growing up, seeing this guy just throw a changeup. You come at you like 98 right near your face, kind of brush you back a little bit, and then just throw the most ridiculous fading changeup going like 71 miles an hour. Like, oh my God, it was just absolutely insane. But look at Logan Webb here. The advanced numbers looking great. He's getting a lot of guys to swing and miss. Look at the chase rate. He ranks in the top 15%. Not a lot of spin rate on the fastball, but he's been getting it done with a lot of his off-speed stuff. If you take a look at his repertoire, definitely the sinker ball is his go-to pitch if you take a look, but he really mixes in a lot of different pitches. Slider, like I was saying with the changeup, he actually throws his four-seamer only around 10% of the time. Cutter, maybe, rarely here and there. But if we go take a look here, I mean, look at the vertical movement of the changeup, like I was mentioning, 8 inches more than the average changeup in the league. So Logan Webb, he's got it going on. He has a great sinker. He gets a lot of ground balls. We actually go take a look. Logan Webb doesn't get a ton of strikeouts. At least I think. I could be wrong about that. No, actually, he's getting a pretty decent amount of strikeouts as well, a 2.48 K per 9 rate. But if we take a look at the ground ball rate. He's getting 61.2% of ground balls. And I feel like the Giants rank pretty well in terms of defense. I could be wrong. I feel like the Giants do pretty well when it comes to defense, right? I could be wrong about that. Yeah, no, they are. They're 7th in defense. So Logan Webb on the San Francisco Giants, it's a match made in heaven because, hey, he gets a ton of ground balls and he's got an infield behind him that's going to get those ground balls. So Logan Webb, what a great year he's been having. Thank you, Tyler, for that super chat. Really appreciate it. Joe Cronin, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Always love seeing you in here, my friend. Oh, tonight is, we got a show on for Joe Cronin tonight. Everyone, if you like wrestling, go check out the Joe Cronin show. Been watching you now for what, like 3 years? 4 years now? It feels like not really that long, but when you think about it, long time now. So I will definitely be watching tonight, Mr. Joe Cronin. Thank you so much. Alrighty, so let's go to our next hot take. So our first hot take we are out of the way on, and let's move on. Here we go. We're gonna stay in the National League West here. We're gonna talk. We're talking about the Giants, so what a perfect segue. Let's talk a little Brandon Crawford. So Brandon Crawford from Sam O'Leary. Brandon Crawford is a more deserving NL MVP than Tatis. Ooh, that is a hot one. Hot. So let's go take a look here. So both of those guys right now are in, I believe, the top 10 when it comes, or at least top 20. I'm not sure where Crawford ranks exactly. But let's go take a look. So Crawford, as of right now, let me just pull up the shortstop rankings. So if we take a look here, okay, Brandon Crawford right now, he is 5th when it comes to WAR for shortstops. So the one thing where Brandon Crawford definitely has an edge, and I think it's an underappreciated thing, is the defense. Brandon Crawford plays great defense. That's the one thing. But he doesn't just play great defense. He has a good all-around game, and that's what I like about Brandon Crawford. Sure, Fernando Tatis Jr. He's got the flair. He's got the finesse. He's the face of baseball. Fernando Tatis Jr. He's the marketable guy. But when you look at a guy like a Brandon Crawford, just a solid veteran player, all-around player, he gets it done with the bat, he gets on base, he plays good defense, he's just a good leader. Brandon Crawford is a guy I think any team would love to have, as their shortstop. Look at the year he's having. Hitting 289 with a 359 on base, solid slugging, a solid WRC+. Sure, Fernando Tatis Jr. is blowing him out of the water when it comes to home runs. Actually, Fernando Tatis Jr., has he played any shortstop lately? I know he's been playing mostly outfield, but if we take a look at the game log, has he played any shortstop? No, he hasn't played any. He hasn't played any since July 30th. So I thought I read somewhere that he might be going back to shortstop. Let me actually... is that news? Just spelled that wrong. That's okay. I feel like I read it somewhere. Oh, I think it was an inbox question. Let me see what they were saying here. Padres beat reporter AJ Casavel. So he got this question: when will Fernando Tatis Jr. move back to shortstop? Why does he look so sad? These two questions, at least according to Tatis himself, have nothing to do with each other. First, about sad faces. Positive guy, yada, 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 yada. As for the shortstop question, I think it's the single most interesting micro-level question regarding the organization right now. Tatis is the Padres' biggest star, and yet no one really knows what position he's going to be playing in both the short and long term. The Padres have left open the possibility that he might play some shortstop down the stretch, but they're extremely comfortable with the way he's taken to playing the outfield, and Jake Cronenworth is obviously very capable as short. So, doesn't look like there's any really, solid plans of moving Tatis back to short, so I don't think we have to worry about that. So I don't know, do you still call Fernando Tatis Jr. a shortstop at this point? I don't know. But when it comes to, whatever, let's still consider him a shortstop, just for the sake of the hot take here. I don't know, Brandon Crawford, love to have this guy on my team, man. Like I said, this guy, he's just a leader, man. He just gets it done every single year. Sure, he's had a couple of years, 2019, 2020, a bit of a slumpity slump in those couple of years, but he's always just played really solid, I feel like. He's always been anywhere from a 10 to a 20 home run kind of a guy. He's definitely having, in my opinion, unless you consider 2016, that was a really good season for him there too, but not a lot of power that season. Still drove in a lot of runs, but he's definitely on pace right now to set a career record or a career high in home runs. So overall, I would say this is his best offensive season. Actually, Fangraphs agrees. He has a 17.8 offensive runs above average, while these other years, sure, in 2016, his highest WAR, he had a 7.0. The defense that year from him was phenomenal. So it's funny, it's a bit of a flip-flop from 2016. Better offense than 2016 this year, but the defense that year was way better. Brandon Crawford is a solid shortstop defensively. He's actually never been in the negatives on defense. So to me, I think it's kind of take your pick. Do you want the flashy superstar kind of a guy with the finesse, the flair, and a Fernando Tatis Jr.? What do you value more? Do you want more of that all-around kind of a guy in a Brandon Crawford? Or do you want just a Fernando Tatis Jr. that's just going to be electric at the plate? I think it comes down to what you want. Do you want chocolate cake, or do you want chocolate ice cream? You want vanilla ice cream? Whatever. It's take your pick. What are you looking for exactly? I don't think you can go wrong with either. So that's just what I'm thinking. But I do like me some Brandon Crawford. He's been a really good player this year. I think he's been very underrated this year. Again, I want to actually go back to the leaderboards. Sure, Xander Bogaerts, a steady season from Xander Bogaerts. Carlos Correa. I feel like Carlos Correa is quietly having a really good year this year. I feel like you're not really hearing about him. Trey Turner, he hasn't been playing really any shortstop, has he? He's been playing mostly like second base, yeah. So it's funny how these, the shortstop leaderboards here, Trey Turner's not even playing short. Fernando Tatis Jr. is not even playing short. So, when you look at true shortstops, right now, you could make the argument based off of what positions they're playing, Brandon Crawford is the best shortstop in the National League, by default, because, hey, these guys aren't even playing short. Willy Adames is fantastic. He's been awesome. So, that's definitely an argument as well. So, hey, they're actually having two very similar seasons. Willy Adames, a few more home runs, but Crawford definitely has the edge in the batting average and the on base and the slugging. So, yeah, I like this hot take. I like it a lot. So, let's see what you guys think in the chat. What do you think of this hot take? Brandon Crawford is more a deserving NL MVP candidate than Fernando Tatis Jr. Let me know what you guys think. Give me a thumbs up or get me a thumbs down. What do you guys think? So Greg with a thumbs up. He says bias though. Wesley Chadlark says no. MLB Brother says no. Helios with a thumbs up. Tyler with a thumbs up. Naveen with the thumbs up. Durian the Fruit. I don't know why that makes me laugh, but I love that name. I don't know why. Thumbs up from him. David Preston, thumbs up. Yankees, thumbs up. Aaron Lynn with a no. Greg F says go Giants. Zachary with a thumbs down. Trey, did I miss your comment? Oh, Riley better. Well, Riley's at third, so we're talking about shortstops right now. But I do like me some Austin Riley. Don't get me wrong. Alex Tui with the thumbs up. So we're seeing a bit of a mix. Hey, Sam O'Leary, there he is with the thumbs up. So, alrighty, everyone. So, good couple of hot takes there. Alrighty, we're going to stay in the West. We might as well stay, we're out West already. Let's stay out West. So, let's talk a little Seattle Mariners here. So, I actually had two, so I combined them into one. So, Ian Ali, the Mariners are a bat like Kyle Lewis away to making a serious final push for that final wild card spot. Lewis should be back in a week. Max Berglund, Mariners sneak in and upset the Rays in the ALDS. Oh my. Okay, so let's do one thing at a time here. So let's talk about the Mariners. Okay, let's see what are the playoff odds as of right now on Fangraphs. So. Hey, the Mariners have been one of the stories of the season this year. They've definitely been a story. If we actually go take a look at the standings as of right now, Seattle, man, they got 1 month to make something happen, but they're only 3.5 back of a wild card. They're 6.5 back in the division. Let's just say we're going to look more at the wild card right now. So, taking a look at the playoff odds, let's click out of this. I'm, again, opening too many tabs. What am I doing? Here we go. So the Mariners, let me pull up the wild cards. In the American League, the Mariners, a 3.8% chance to make the playoffs, a 3.4% chance to win the wild card. So it's definitely going to be tough for the Mariners. They have a pretty decent schedule going down the stretch. Let's actually go pull up the Mariners schedule. You got to give a lot of credit, man, to... hey, they got a 1-0 win against the Astros in their last game. Tell you, this Mariners team, they actually do, pretty well in one-run games, because they have a good bullpen that really locks it down. So, actually, how are they doing in one-run games? I feel like they're good. Yeah, they're 28-16. So they do really well, and that's just another example. I mean, beating the Astros 1-0 with that offense? Are you kidding me? But let's take a look at the Mariners' schedule. You got the Diamondbacks for a few here. Then you got a key series against the Astros again. Actually, what did they end up taking against the Astros? They took 2 out of 3 against the Astros, taking it to them. So you got the Diamondbacks again after this series coming up. You got a tougher series with the Red Sox coming up. No bias there. Don't call me Giraffe Neck Robbie. I'm just saying. Then you got Kansas City. Then you got the A's. That's going to be you got 7 more against the A's. And what's their last series? Then you got the Angels. I don't think you can count the Mariners out. The only problem is, if you look at the standings, they got to leapfrog Oakland. So, in Oakland, I feel like they have a pretty decent schedule. Actually, no, they have a tough schedule as well. The Mariners actually have an easier schedule slightly. Very funny how it's just kind of Fangraphs, their algorithms and everything. They give the A's a 15.3% chance of winning a wild card, but they have a tougher schedule. So they're basically saying the Mariners just aren't as good. Which, they don't rank particularly well when it comes to, a lot of the main categories. Offensively, they rank, I think, 22nd or 21st or something like that. They have gone up a little bit. I don't know. I feel like they were 27th, 28th at one point. Starting pitching is good, but the bullpen is their bread and butter. Here we go. Acept, am I saying that right? Who's your World Series favorite right now? Man, World Series favorite right now. It's tough. I don't know, because, I want to say the Rays, I don't know what it is with this Rays team. I'm enamored with them. I don't know. I haven't really wrapped my head around it too much, to be completely honest with you. I'm not going to say my Red Sox right now. I just personally don't think. If I did think the Red Sox were a World Series favorite, I would say it. I just don't think they're really a World Series favorite right now. I don't know. The way the Yankees really played in August, they played awesome. The Dodgers have been heating up a lot. I think it's going to come down. I don't know. I would not be surprised to see the Rays back in the World Series. I would honestly... give me a Rays Giants World Series. I would love it. I would love that World Series. I would get my popcorn for that. Give me a Rays Brewers World Series. That's what I want. I feel like right now, it's funny with the Rays because they really were taking it to my Red Sox a lot. But now the Red Sox, they're on their way to win tonight. Knock on wood here, but 4-0 right now. I don't know. So the Rays haven't looked too great in the last couple of games. I don't know, but this Rays team is really good. They just win. They just win, man. They just find so many ways to win. I would have to say right now, I don't know. My head wants to go with a team like the Dodgers or the Yankees. My heart wants to go with my Red Sox, of course, or a team like the Rays. The thing with the Rays is I just wonder if they're ever going to be able to get it fully done. They were so close last year, but you run into a powerhouse like the Dodgers and you just fall short. So I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. But Acept, I appreciate that $2 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. But we're talking about the Mariners here. So again, the Mariners, 3.4% chance to win the wild card. But we talked about that offense a second ago. Kyle Lewis coming back in. Oh, we got another super chat. What is going on? JM1231 with a $5. Next season will be a breakout for the M's with J-Rod, and apparently they are focused on Semien. Very interesting. Do that and add a good starting pitcher, and they are contenders. I expect the Mariners to be active in the market. I think the Mariners are a very attractive team to go to just because, if you're looking at it from just a baseball point of view, I'm not sure what these players are going to end up wanting to do, lifestyle-wise. I don't know if Seattle is, a place a lot of these players, really want to go to. I don't know. But in terms of baseball, good farm system, good young players coming up in the next couple of years. You got good talent already on the Major League roster. They have money to spend. So, I don't know. I feel like this Mariners team, they seem like a team to me that's going to be active this offseason. I would think so. But JM1231, I appreciate your $5 super chat, my friend. Thank you so much. But Kyle Lewis, hey, he's played 36 games this year. Actually, what's the news on him lately? He ran the bases this past Tuesday, so that's a good sign. But let's take a look at his game log. He hasn't played since May. But, during that time, he hit 246 with a 333 on base with 5 homers. This is a guy, he could come in, rookie of the year last year. He could definitely come in and make something happen. And, I don't know. I'm not sure if there would be rust. I don't know if it's going to be a little too late for Kyle Lewis by the time he comes back. But, hey, definitely a guy who could be a boost for that lineup. We're going to have to wait and see. But could the Rays... Let's say the Mariners. Let's say the Mariners actually made the playoffs. Let's say they won the wild card game. Let's just blow our minds right now. Let's say the Mariners make the playoffs, make the wild card game, and then win the wild card game and go up against the number 1 seed, which is looking like the Rays at this point. I don't know. That's going to be really hard, man. With this Rays team, I would not want to go up against this Rays team in the wild card game. I just wouldn't. With this kind of a bullpen, they got arms all over the place. I would not want to go up against the Rays in a one-game take-all game. I just wouldn't. That to me, if there's any team I don't want to go up against in a wild card game, it's the Rays. They're just dangerous. If you got one game, they throw everyone at you. And so, their offense has been great this year. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's going to be in the cards if the Mariners do the unthinkable and win a wild card. I don't know, man. I would think that's ridiculous to beat the Rays. JM1231 one more time. The M's are 6. That is a good point. That's a good point. Let me actually go here. Let me pull up the Mariners. Mariners 2021. 6-0 against the Rays this year. That's a good point. But I don't know. I'm a little different when it comes to a one-game take-all. I'm throwing the regular season out of the window at that point. That's just me. So again, if you take a look here, so you pointed out that they're 0-6, or they're 6-0. Sorry, I need to go to bed. It's been a long week. 6-0 against the Rays. Where are we at? Or they're 6-1. So. They've outscored them 38-21. So when did they play the Rays? They played them, it looks like recently. Okay, so they played them in June. I mean, so the one thing, if they're, in my opinion, actually now that I think about it, if there was one team that could go up against the Rays, the Mariners, I think, could be a really solid matchup for the Rays. Obviously they definitely took it to them in the regular season, but if you're looking at it just in terms of their strengths and weaknesses, the Mariners have a good bullpen, just like the Rays. They do well, in late game situations. The Rays are always a pesky team as well. The Mariners do have enough starting pitching. That's where I kind of worry, is the starting pitching. I just wonder when it comes to, in terms of experience, I don't know. I mean, you could throw Logan Gilbert out there. You got Kikuchi. You got a Marco Gonzalez as well. You got Chris Flexen, who's having a good year this year. So I think if there is a team that could go up against the Rays in a wild card game, I think the Mariners would be a dangerous team. It's just hard to, at least a dangerous team for the Rays. For me, if you or in a, I don't know, in what am I saying? In a series, that would be a tough series for the Rays. I could actually see the Mariners, taking it to them in a 5-game series. Absolutely. For the Mariners in a wild card game, I could see them winning a wild card game. Absolutely. With that bullpen, late in the game, and you got enough starting pitching and you get offense that's clutch, they could win a wild card game if they make it. In a 5-game series against the Rays, I don't know. That's a lot, man. Especially with the way this Rays team is playing this year. They just, I don't know. That'd be really interesting, though. I mean, what a series that would be. What a series. But let's see what you guys think. So, what do you think about the Mariners shocking the world, making the wild card game, winning a wild card? What do you guys think? What do you guys think of these hot takes? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. Let's see what you guys think. Yankees says thumbs up to the first part, thumbs down to the second part. Cody Smith with a thumbs down. LG or Lee G with a thumbs up. What do we got? Let's see the thumbs ups and the thumbs downs. Let's see. We got another thumbs up from AMMRA, Aaron Lynn with a thumbs down, Durian the Fruit with a thumbs down, Acept with a thumbs up. Oh, Matthew Pope, I am so sorry, my friend. So sorry. Sending up a prayer for you, my friend. Sending up a prayer. Sports with AJ. Mariners are scary for a wild card, but I can't see them winning a series. Yeah, I think the Mariners, I agree with you, Sports with AJ. I definitely think they could push a series. I don't know. Could you imagine Tyler Burbeck, a Mariners-Astros ALCS? Meineke Man, Mariners are overrated. Won't even make the postseason. It's going to be tough for them to make the postseason. Greg F., Rays all the way. Cody Smith, Rays in a playoff format are too dangerous. I agree. I think the Rays are going to be a really dangerous team. Nicholas with the double thumbs down. Flo Hammer with the double thumbs down. East for Levi. Sideways. So in the middle. All righty. So, hey, we are in the American League West right now. Let's kind of get away from, playoff talk. Let's go to maybe, down the road, 3-4 years, maybe even 2 years down the road. Could we see a trade of Mike Trout? Let's take a look at this one. Mike Trout won't finish his career with the Angels and will be traded before his contract expires. Well, he has a long time left on that contract. So, let's go take a look at Mike Trout. Here we go. Let's go take a look, and let's take a look at some other contracts as well. So, Mike Trout, the biggest contract of all time, 12-year deal. That's going to be, through his age 39 season. I mean, a massive contract. Is it possible? I mean, I believe when Giancarlo Stanton signed, I think that was the highest contract ever. I believe. Was it? Giancarlo Stanton signs. Was that the biggest contract? No, I don't want to see it was a $325 million. So that at the time, back in 2014, that was the highest contract of all time. So we have seen that get traded. So it's not out of the question. Would a team want to take on this massive salary? I don't know. I don't even know what teams would even want to take it. I know a lot of teams would love to take a Mike Trout, but what teams would want to take this much money? I think there would be a team out there that would be interested for sure. It's just like unthinkable. But at this point, it's like Mike Trout, like the Angels, what are you doing? I think personally, the Angels need to revamp that organization. I think, from ownership, down, something is wrong in that organization because there's no reason why this team shouldn't be winning. They have talent on this team. It's not just Mike Trout and Ohtani. They got other guys on this team as well, but they just can't ever seem to really get it done when it comes to adding starting pitching in the offseason. Sure, they added a couple of guys this past year, but they're not like top level guys like when they went after a Garrett Cole. So they can't seem to add like that big ticket. They couldn't get a Trevor Bauer. I thought Trevor Bauer to the Angels, I thought that was really likely. But I don't know. We have seen other contracts, big contracts, get traded. A-Rod with the Rangers back in 2004. He got traded then. Did Miguel Cabrera, he didn't sign his big contract until he got to the Tigers. So, Robinson Cano and his big contract got traded. So, the Red Sox got rid of David Price. So they had to eat some of that money. But was Prince Fielder traded? Yeah, so the Tigers. Okay, so yeah, they traded him in that big contract. Look at Max Scherzer. It was the last year of his deal, but he got traded. Greinke got traded. So, but we're looking at over $400 million here. Like, this is a boatload of money. It's just like mind-boggling to think. Could they end up trading a Mike Trout? What team? Let's just kind of have some fun here. What team would he be a good fit on, like, right now? Obviously, he's going to be a good fit on any team. But what team would need him the most? So let me actually go to the team stats. Let's just go to outfielders. Which teams rank the lowest in outfielders? So we're just going to click on the offense. So what teams really need some offense in an outfield? Could you see Mike Trout as a Kansas City Royal? They could use some offense. Good grief. Could you see the biggest trade of all time in division? Probably not. No way to the Rockies. Could you imagine the Mets? He has to have a no trade clause, right? Has to. He probably has a full no trade clause. Has to. Yeah, full no trade clause. So, would he even approve a trade to the Mets? I don't even know about that. The Rangers. Could be interesting. The one thing about the Mets, because he did grow up in Jersey, I believe, right? New Jersey. So, he would be kind of close by to his hometown. So, he did go to high school in New Jersey, right? Mike Trout, high school. I think it was in New Jersey. Yeah, it was New Jersey. So, could he want to go back to, go to Queens, kind of close to Jersey? Maybe. I don't know. Good grief. Would he want? I don't know if he would want that attention, though. I don't know if he wants those tabloids. Probably not. Could you see? I'm seeing you in the chat here. Francisco Verhan, the Dodgers. Good grief. Honestly, the Dodgers, sure. Why not? They have all the money in the world. Look at the payroll that they have now. Record payroll. Going across town, but just going to the other league. I think the Rangers would be really interesting. That's in division, though, so I don't know about that. Could you imagine Detroit? Detroit would be fun. Detroit up-and-coming team. They could use some, they could use a guy like a Mike Trout. Why not? Let's get Mike Trout to the Tigers. I think that'd be pretty fun. Mike Trout and Spencer Torkelson in the same lineup. Are you kidding me? That'd be insane. Maybe the Cubs. Maybe the Cubs, they cleared all this payroll. Maybe they're going to go after a Mike Trout. Maybe. Probably not the Braves. Probably not the Diamondbacks. Probably not the Blue Jays. Probably not my Red Sox. That would be really fun, though. Could you maybe see the Padres? Could you see the Padres make a move for Mike Trout? Honestly, any team would, love to have a Mike Trout. But money-wise, I don't see the Yankees doing it. I don't know. The Yankees, obviously, you think money, but the Yankees' spending habits in the last few years, I don't see him going after a big-ticket guy like that. I mean, they already went after a Stanton. They've already gotten their guy. So, I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna be. There's not gonna be a big market, I think, for Mike Trout. I think the most fun teams, if we're playing fantasy, trade right now, I think the Mets, basically just because he went to high school close by, kind of close. The Dodgers, just because they have all the money in the world, and he's already out in Los Angeles as well. I think the Tigers would be really fun. I mean, got all these young bats coming up. You got Torkelson, you got Riley Green. I mean, good grief. I mean, add a throw of Mike Trout in there, that offense is nasty. But yeah, when it comes, big payrolls, the Cubs I think would be fun. Mike Trout and Wrigley, I think that'd be really fun. But you could see the Padres. They haven't been afraid to add money. I don't know, but that's what I'm thinking. But does Mike Trout get traded? I think you're gonna find out in the next couple of years. I'll give it a couple of years because you know what, Mike Trout right now. He is, how old is he now? He's 29. He has to be 29 years old, right? He's 29, 30. How old is he? He's 30 years old. I'm going to give it 2 years. I actually, you know what? I don't know. I could see, it depends on what he wants, though. I don't know what Mike Trout wants. I mean, I don't know the guy. But I would imagine if he wants to win, in my opinion, if I'm Mike Trout, let's say I'm Mr. Mike Trout sitting here before all of you, and I had this massive contract, but I wanted to win. I mean, I'd give it one more year. This year he got hurt, right? So, whatever to this year. But the next year, let's say he has himself an MVP caliber year like we're used to seeing, and the Angels still don't make it. I wouldn't be surprised to see him ask for a trade then. Because it's like, all right, well, you know what? Like, how many years do I have to keep playing? I'm not getting any younger. He's 31. He's gonna be 31. So I'll give it one more year for Trout. I could see something like that. If the Angels don't do anything really drastic this offseason, I don't see why. Like, I don't know. To me personally, I'm a competitor. I'm a guy that I want to win. That's what I'm doing. You're one of the greatest players of all time already. I want to win. I've already put up the numbers. I've won the MVPs. I want to win a championship. And hey, you got what? Maybe a 3-4, really good years left. But then, hey, 35 to 40, what's going to happen to your body at that point? What's going on? So, I don't know. Mike Trout, I'll buy this hot take. I'll buy this hot take completely. Because why not? I mean, Mike Trout, I would imagine this guy wants to win, right? So let me see what you guys think. From Mike the Christian Gamer 85, thank you so much for the hot take. What do you guys think? Do you think Mike Trout will be traded before the end of his contract? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. Cody Smith with a thumbs up. MLB Brother with a thumbs down. Griminator X, thumbs up. Kyle with a yes. Greg F with a thumbs down. Impossible to trade for, in my opinion. Just would never work out for both sides. It would be a lot of money. He loves T-Mobile Park, he said. Oh, interesting. Wow, Matthew Pope, 99 years old. Crazy. 99. Man, that is nuts, man. What a life, man. Matthew Pope, I'm sorry again. Cody Smith, buy it in the next 3 years. It will happen. A Memory, thumbs up. Kyle with the thumbs up. Orioles, thumbs down. We got a lot of thumbs ups, but I'm seeing a few thumbs downs as well. So, Robert P., what a hot take in the chat. Rays collapse like the 2011 Red Sox. I don't know. Is there chicken and beer in the Rays clubhouse? Can anyone confirm if there is any chicken and beer in the Rays clubhouse? That's the only way you're going to be like the 2011 Red Sox. Josh Beckett, gaining 20 pounds, looking like he's got, acorns in his cheeks in that last, in the final week of the season. I remember Josh Beckett. He was looking like a fluffy boy. Hey, I'm not making fun of him. I've gotten to myself to be quite fluffy as well. But Josh Beckett that year, he was eating a lot of fried chicken at the end of that year. But anyway, hey, I can't blame him. I love me some fried chicken. What can I say? But let's move on here. So, or honestly, another place for Mike Trout. I didn't think about this team. This is actually our, we're getting to our next hot take here. Could you maybe see Mike Trout, maybe one day go to this team? This is what our next hot take is about. Up next, here we go. The Reds will it's a bit of a lengthy one here, so follow along. Peter Dowd, thank you so much. The Reds will upset the Dodgers, who will lose the division in the wild card, and then beat the Giants in the NLDS. The Phillies come back and win the division and beat the Brewers in 5 to have a Reds-Phillies NLCS. First off, I picked this hot take because I think it's hilarious. First off, could you imagine if we have a Reds-Phillies NLCS, neither the Dodgers, the Giants, or the Padres get to the NLCS? I think that would be hilarious for the Reds and the Phillies to get to the championship series. I don't think that, to be honest, I could buy it. You know why? Because no one saw it coming. And we always seem to, have these, the no one saw it coming things happen all the time. I could see it happening because why not? Everyone's got the Dodgers or the Giants or even the Padres making it to a championship series. No one's calling for the Reds or the Phillies. Give it to me. I think that would be awesome. But Mike Trout on the Phillies, could maybe that happen one day? That's pretty close to Jersey. Anyway, but so let's go take a look at this. So right now, I'm going to take a look at just the playoff odds. So right now, if we're taking a look at the Phillies, so the Phillies and the Reds, for them to have a championship series, they gotta make the playoffs first. There's no guarantee they're even gonna make the playoffs. Right now, the Reds have a 55% chance of winning a wild card. The Phillies have a 7% chance of winning a wild card, but where the Phillies have a chance is the division. So that was actually one of my bold predictions yesterday. I had the Phillies winning the division. Bryce Harper, my prediction was he's going to get red hot. He's going to win that. He's going to carry them to a division crown. So, but man, so again, what was the hot take again? It was, he has the Reds beating the Dodgers in the wild card game. Let me go back to that, actually. Let me go back to it. I gotta follow that again. It was... So you have the Reds beating the Dodgers in the wild card. Okay. So then they would advance to the Giants, who have the best record. So the Reds, honestly, they got starting pitching that could match up with the Giants. So I wouldn't be surprised about that. And then the Phillies, on the other hand, come back, win the division, beat the Brewers in 5. I mean, it's not completely out of the question. Not completely out of the question. The Brewers, that offense, I could see that Brewers offense going into a bit of a slump. They've been slumping lately. It's been better ever since Willy Adames came over and Rowdy Tellez, but I don't know. That Brewers offense, can you count on them? And the Reds, I think, or was it the Reds? Hold on, let me see. Let me go back. Or the Phillies, sorry. And the Phillies, I think they got enough bats to go up against that Brewers starting pitching. I mean, why not? And the Phillies have good starting pitching as well that could match up with the Brewers. I don't think this is incredibly, outlandish. I don't see why this couldn't happen. I think matchup-wise, I think the Reds could match up with the Giants based off of starting pitching alone. Now, the difference between the Reds and the Giants is the bullpen. So that you have to consider as well. And the Phillies and the Brewers, I think the Phillies offense could, take it to the Brewers starting pitching. The Phillies bullpen is a little questionable, but the Phillies bullpen has been better. The Brewers middle relief crew, sure, you got Devin Williams and Josh Hader at the back end, but the middle relief hasn't been very good. And the Phillies bullpen has been pretty good lately. So I don't see how this is too crazy. I could see it. I absolutely could see it based off of matchups alone. But let me know what you guys think down below. Do you see a Reds-Phillies National League Championship Series. Could we see it? Could we see it? The hot take. KB for MVP. Giants have a winning record against the Dodgers this year. I think the Giants, man, they are not to be toyed with. What does Michael Scott say in The Office? I am not to be truffled with. I think that's what he said. Always made me laugh. But let's see what you guys got. AMMRA, thumbs down. Good hot take, though. I mean, I think it's actually a good hot take. I like it because you're hearing so much. You know, the Dodgers, the Giants, you know, Padres, maybe they could come back around. One of those, I think anyone would be surprised if one of those three teams or if all of those three teams are not in the championship series. I think it would be hilarious. Matthew Pope. Robbie, do you think if the New York Mets take the division and go on to the World Series? I don't know, man. I don't know. I think you'd have to have DeGrom. I don't know, man. This Mets team. But hold on. Stay tuned, Matthew Pope. Stay tuned because that might be our next topic. So stay tuned. No way. Maybe the Reds, not the Phillies. Interesting. NLCS will be Dodgers, Brewers. I mean, I think that'd be really fun. I think Chuck. I mean, I think, you know, Dodgers, Brewers. That'd be a really fun series. I don't think it would be anything like that wild card series that they had. I think the Brewers will be way better this time around. So, honestly, I kind of just want the Brewers to make the World Series. Is that just me? I want the Brewers to make it. That's just me. I don't know. But I want to raise Brewers World Series. Give it to me. But, yeah, Meineke, man, the Mets need DeGrom. Yeah, I agree. Hey, Dodgers, Brewers next week. I'm pretty excited about that. So, yeah, Chuck, I love that starting pitching for the Brewers. So, but as for the Phillies, Reds, NLCS, I'm seeing a lot of thumbs downs. Kai Lee says a thumbs up. Or Kyle. I don't know. You have a space in between. Is it Kai Lee or is it Kyle? I'm not quite sure. But mostly thumbs downs. I could see that. But, hey, we've seen crazier things happen. You know what that series kind of reminds me of? That reminds me of the 2007 National League Championship Series when you had the Rockies and the Diamondbacks in the NLCS that year. Who would have thought that was going to be the NLCS? I remember the Brewers were red hot because they had CC Sabathia. Or was that 2007? No, that wasn't CC that year. The 2007 playoffs. You had the Phillies and the Rockies in the first round, and then you had the Diamondbacks and the Brewers. I think that's what it was. Oh, I gotta go to this. 2007 National League Division Series. Oh, it was the Cubs. Oh, that's right. I remember the Cubs were really good that year. I think. Let me go, or at least I think their record was good. Weren't they like a 98 win team that year for the Cubs? Oh no, they were 85 wins. What the heck am I thinking of? But yeah, I remember you had the Cubs, the Phillies, but then ended up being, you know, the Diamondbacks and the Rockies. The Rockies got red hot there at the end. So yeah, they actually had the two best records in the National League that year. So yeah, I guess that's not surprising. But based off of the names, who would have thought Diamondbacks, Rockies? So that's kind of what I'm thinking of now with Reds and Phillies. So, but alrighty, let's move on to our next hot take. Hey, we're talking Mets. I'm hearing some, seeing some Mets stuff here in the chat. We're in the National League East, so let's talk some Mets. Here we go. Mets take advantage of their easy next 10 games and close the gap in the playoff race. My God, could you imagine this happening? So let's go take a look at the Mets playoff odds. So the Mets, as of right now, they have a 4.9% chance of winning the division. Not looking very good. They got a 1.5% chance of winning a wild card. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's go look at the Mets team currently. So the most recent thing we had with the Mets was the thumbs down thing. It looks like they have put a stop to that. They did just get Brad Hand. Brad Hand was not a good addition for the Blue Jays, but could Brad Hand be the savior of the Mets? I don't know. They just sent Khalil Lee back down to the minor leagues. But, you know, with this Mets team, I still like the lineup. I mean, I know it's, you know, Lindor's not performing well this year. I mean, but I feel like this offense could turn it on. Is that just me? I don't know. Starting pitching, it's I don't know. When you don't got the Grom there, it's just blech. I don't see Marcus Stroman as a number 1. I just don't. I see Stroman as like a 2 or like, you know, yeah, 2. I'd say that's fair for Stroman to be a 2. I don't see him as a 1 though. Taijuan Walker, actually, he was really good for a while. How's he doing now? So yeah, that sounds about right. But he's been very solid this year for the Mets. How's he been pitching lately? He's been pitching fine. 2 losses. He hasn't won since, oh my God. He hasn't won since July 3rd. Right? Are my eyes deceiving me? No, Taijuan Walker has not won since July 3rd. That's a long time. That's 2 months. Taijuan Walker, can we win a game? I mean, he's had a couple of rough outings. I mean, look at this. He gave up 5 earned runs in this game against the Pirates. I remember that. 6 earned against the Blue Jays. He was having a horrible run here. And then it looks like he started turning it around. Phillies, he gave up 3. Dodgers, he actually had a really good outing. Dodgers again. It was decent, I guess. Giants actually was pretty good last time, but he's not getting, he's definitely not getting enough run support, that's for sure. I mean, look at good grief. What's his win-loss record? 7-9. So he's definitely not getting run support for the wins. So he's not pitching bad, but how actually has Rich Hill been? Rich Hill, what are we doing? With the Mets, Rich Hill has actually been, okay, not very good. 4.83 ERA and FIP. So Rich Hill is basically whatever. McGill got, I think, rocked the other day, right? I think he gave up like 7 runs or something like that. Or was that the other day? Or was that like another start? Yeah, he gave up 7 runs against the Giants a couple starts back. He did better in his last start. But yeah, McGill, I don't know. What's McGill? Actually not bad. 4.04 ERA, 4.33 FIP. So it's all right. But like I said, these are not really like number 1 kind of guys. Actually, Carrasco, how are we doing here? So let's see. So Carrasco, his start got canceled the other day. How's he been doing? Oh, his ERA and FIP are high. So, all they really have right now are Stroman and Walker. And Walker's not getting any run support. Stroman, he's not getting any run support. So, that offense, it's not a good offense. Actually, let me pull up the offense for the Mets. They are 17th. No, that's counting defense as well. They are 21st in offense. That offense needs to turn it around. But the hot take said, because of their easy schedule, they're going to turn it around. So if we take a look at the Mets, 65, 67, they are, hold on, let me go to the standard. So they have won 3 straight games, but the Phillies are red hot too. The Phillies are a game and a half back of the Braves. The Braves are cold. What's going on with the Braves? But let's look at the Mets schedule. Actually, what is their strength of schedule? A 497. So definitely easier. Phillies have actually, but look at the Phillies. The Phillies have a way easier schedule, a 463. So that's not good. Well, let's look at the division. Actually, what is the Braves schedule looking like? 476. The Braves have an easier schedule than the Mets, and the Phillies have an easier schedule. The Mets actually have the hardest schedule remaining in that National League East. So, I don't know. But let's take a look. They're winning right now, 4-3. Look what the Yankees did. They won 13 straight games, and they got the first wild card. So, if the Mets can go on a run, you're not wrong. You got the Marlins tonight, and you're right now winning, so you got to hang on to that one. Then you got the Nationals for 5 games, and then you got the Marlins again for 3. So, I mean, you're on the road, so you're not at home. Maybe that's better. I think Mets fans kind of hate the Mets right now. Then you got a tough series. You got a tough stretch here. Oof. This is a brutal stretch. Yankees, Cardinals, Phillies, Red Sox, Brewers. That's rough. And then you got the Marlins again, and then you got the Braves. I mean, honestly, this could be exciting. Could you imagine the Braves and the Mets going for the division in these final 3 games? I mean, the Mets are going to have to do a lot. But they're only 5 back. They're 5 back. They're right there. I mean, they were like, what, 8 back? Like, yeah, they were 8 back a few days ago. I'm just saying, don't count the Mets out. I mean, I know a lot of people are wanting to hate on the Mets, which rightfully so. They have not been playing all that great. But they're on track to win tonight. And, hey, they got some easy games coming up. I would not be surprised. So if they win tonight, that's going to be 4 straight. Let's say they rattle off a 5-game sweep of the Nationals, 9-game winning streak. Let's say you beat the Marlins again for 3, 12-game winning streak. I mean, you could be right back in this thing. You could be. It's not out of the question. If they win tonight, they're going to be 4.5 back. Actually, how are the Braves doing right now? So, what the heck am I looking at right now? Why is this so zoomed in? What is happening? What am I looking at? What is happening with MLB.com? Did they do something? Did they revamp their website? What am I on? This isn't the homepage. This is bothering me. Anyway, whatever. It looks like they revamped their homepage. Or am I all zoomed in? Oh, I'm at 110%. Well, that's not doing anything. Anyway. But the Rockies are beating the Braves right now. 5-3. I mean, by the end of the night, we could see the Mets 4 out. We could see them 4 out. That would be wild. And the Phillies, did they win? Yeah, the Phillies won today. So, if the Braves lose, the Phillies are only going to be 1 game back. And then the Mets could be 4 back. So, the Mets, look out for the New York Mets. I'm not going to count them out just yet. You got a lot of baseball left. You got a full month. But let's see what you guys think. Do you think the Mets can still turn it around? I know it might sound crazy, but this is hot takes. This is hot takes. That's where all the crazy... This is the place. If you want to say something crazy, this is the place for it. Let's see what you guys think. Let's see what you guys think. Are the Mets going to be able to turn it around? Mets aren't the Mets without a late hot streak. Let's do it. Let's get the Mets on a hot streak. It'd be great if they had DeGrom, though. Yeah, Trey, that lineup has just not been performing. But they got the bats to turn it around. Knights, what's going on? David Knight. Rockies are playing better than expected this year. Hey, everyone thought the Rockies were going to be like this terrible team this year. The Rockies right now, I mean, they're not good, but they're 61-72. I mean, they're far from one of the worst teams in baseball. So, they are, 7 back of the Cardinals. And the Cardinals got Arenado. So, I think a lot of people thought Colorado was going to have, the worst record. So, Matthew, do you think the Mets take the division and win the World Series? I think in the end, I don't think so, man. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I think it would be, crazy if they did. I mean, I would be blown away. But the Mets have talent on this team. But, I don't know. They're lacking the ace in DeGrom right now. They don't have a lot of depth in that starting pitching. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think they win a World Series. Could they win that division? I think it's possible. But the way the Phillies are playing right now, the Braves really turned it around there. I mean, they're just, the Braves are so good too. I don't know, man. I don't know if the Mets are quite there. I think they need more pitching. I think they need more starting pitching. So, Aussie Craig, Mets won't make it. Giraffe neck Mark in tears. Lots of tears from Giraffe neck Mark in the last few years. Cody Smith, thank you so much for coming out, my friend. Really appreciate it. First time you've been here. Definitely be back. Hey, glad to have you back anytime, my friend. So, alrighty, let's go to our next hot take. We got a few more. I'm going to roll through the last couple here. Actually, we got 2 more hot takes. So, I'm going to focus on my Red Sox here. I gotta put a Red Sox one in here. Why not? But this one I actually think is pretty interesting because the Red Sox tend not to have this very often in their organization. And you know what? I think this guy, as a Red Sox fan, maybe I'm being a little bit of giraffe neck Robbie right now. I'm sorry, but I think this guy deserves a little more credit. And Tanner Houck has made the show. Tanner Houck will be the cornerstone of the Red Sox pitching rotation for years to come. Considering his stats in Major League Baseball so far, Tanner doesn't get enough credit, which makes him very underrated in my opinion. Let's go take a look at Tanner Houck. Let's go take a look. So, Tanner Houck, here we go. So I'm going to pull up a few things. Baseball Savant. And we're going to pull up Fangraphs. Sharing the screen. So Tanner Houck, a lot of people are comparing him to Chris Sale. They have kind of similar deliveries, kind of like that sort of elasticy kind of a windup. And he's been said to be like Chris Sale, but from the right side. But if you look at the numbers, he has pretty decent numbers. I actually want to pull up Chris Sale as well. I want to compare Chris Sale's and Tanner Houck's numbers earlier on in their careers. So Chris Sale, or Tanner Houck, in 2020, he had a 3.25 FIP and 11 strikeouts per 9 over the 3 starts. Chris Sale, don't forget, Chris Sale was being used out of the bullpen a lot. But Chris Sale, in his first year, over 30 games, he had 9 strikeouts per 9, a 3.27 FIP. So, not very far off. I know it's a small sample size for Tanner Houck in 2020, but let's look at 2021. Over 11 games, he has 11 strikeouts per 9. He has a 3.63 ERA and a 2.71 FIP. That's the big one here. That's what gives me a lot of hope for a Tanner Houck is that FIP, a 2.71. So that's something to definitely look out for with him. Chris Sale, his FIPs were in the 3s. He had a 2.57 in 2014, but that was in his, second year? That was his 3rd year of starting. And Tanner Houck is already putting up, pretty good numbers. Tanner Houck is actually getting more strikeouts than Sale did back then. So I'm just saying, Tanner Houck is off to a good start in his career. But let's take a look at him on Baseball Savant. So if we look at Houck, so this is a guy, doesn't have a lot of pitches. Fastball, he's got a slider. He's got a sinker as well. Throws a split sometimes, but he's big fastball slider kind of a guy, just like Chris Sale. Where if we take a look at his slider, actually, I'm going to pull up Chris Sale too. Chris Sale, Baseball Savant. So if you're wondering why I'm comparing him to Chris Sale, it's because Tanner Houck, people say he's like the right-handed Chris Sale. Both have similar deliveries, just from different sides. So let's go back to Chris Sale's. So let's go back to 2016. So taking a look, Chris Sale's slider back in 2016, he had a 2.7 inches above average horizontally and 5.4 inches above average vertically. So if we look at Houck, This year, okay, so horizontally, he gets a ton of movement. 6.8. Chris Sale, in his, let's say Tanner Houck, this is like his first full season. He had 2.7 horizontally and 5.4 vertically. So very different movement from both of those guys. But Tanner Houck, what he has a nasty sinker as well. Look at the sinker. He has 9.3 inches of vertical movement above the average sinker. And Chris Sale, he has a sinker too, but Houck's sinker moves way better than Chris Sale's ever has. So he has a similar slider. He has a better sinker. Sale has more of and the Red Sox just won that game. 4-0 win. What a good win for the Red Sox tonight, man. Series win against the Rays. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, Tanner Houck, he really compares a lot to Sale in terms of the movement on his pitches as well. Similar numbers, similar movement in terms of, his pitches. And then velocity as well, actually. Where do we see velocity? So, Tanner Houck, in 2020, he averaged 92.1 miles per hour on his fastball. And then he's averaging 94 miles an hour this year. Chris Sale, for him, does it have his velocity? So, okay, yeah, so they don't have his velocity yet. But if you look at Chris Sale, he was 93.7 in 2016, 94.5 in 2017, 94.8 in 2018. And Houck right now is averaging 94 miles an hour. So Chris Sale, his velocity got better over the years. And Houck, so far, his velocity has gotten better. So, they are very similar pitchers, at least early on. So I'm going to agree with this. I think Tanner Houck, this is a guy, look out for him. Really look out for a Tanner Houck. That's just what I'm thinking with him. I really like that hot take. Wanted to do a quick Red Sox one tonight. But I think also, it just makes a lot of sense because they just compare in a lot of ways, Tanner Houck and Chris Sale. So let's move on to our last hot take of the night. You guys have been awesome tonight. Still have over 100 people in the chat. So here we go. So where are we at here? Oh, so the White Sox. That is our last hot take. Let's talk a little White Sox here. Now, with the White Sox this year, good team, but how are they going to be in the playoffs? The Yankees, 286. White Sox get swept in the first round due to a weak division and their inability to win against over 500 teams. And then La Russa gets fired. How ridiculous would this? Oh my God. This would be like, because everything is crumbling down. If La Russa gets fired, I think that's just going to be, I never want to see anyone get fired, but considering the up and down year this guy has had going back into the offseason, good grief. Honestly, it just wouldn't even surprise me at this point. But let's go take a look at the White Sox. So, when we're looking at the White Sox here, let me pull up the stats. Alrighty. There we go. Okay, so the White Sox, they are overall the third best team this year when you combine the offense and the defense. If we look at just the offense, they have the second best offense. If they just played better defense, they definitely could be. They could be a lot closer to being the best overall team. If we look at their starting pitching overall, they are the best team when you combine the starting pitching and the bullpen. So, starting pitching, they rank second. Bullpen, they rank fourth. So, they got a lot of good arms, both in the rotation and in the bullpen. The problem with the White Sox is they tend not to beat these good teams. They're in a weak division. They play a lot of Twins. a lot of Twins games. They got a lot of Indians games. They got a lot of Royals games. I mean, the Tigers are, better than a lot of people thought this year, but it's still the Tigers at the end of the day. But that's why I think, the White Sox, their record is very good. But when you look at their records, and they're also 7-0 against Baltimore this year. They're 2-2 against my Red Sox. They are 1-1 against the Reds. Even actually Cleveland actually took it to them, but Detroit, they were 9-4 against. They have a losing record against the Astros. So the Yankees, they're 1-5 against. They are 3-1 against Oakland. They're tied, with Seattle 3-3. Toronto, they're 4-3 against. Tampa Bay, they're 3-3. So, yeah, sure, they really take it to teams like the Orioles, the Cubs, the Indians, the Tigers, the Twins. They took 3 out of 4 against the A's and the Pirates. They're 2-1 against St. Louis. They beat the Rangers in all 3 games. So they definitely beat these weaker teams. But again, Red Sox you're tied with. I mean, even the Indians were actually really good at one point this season. They were right there. I think they were in first place at one point. They're 500 with the Indians. Houston, you're 2-5. I mean, Kansas City's actually played them hard this year too. 1-5 against the Yankees. 3 are tied with the Rays. So it's going to be interesting. But then you look at the one-run games. They're 13-20 in one-run games. That's just kind of, I don't know. You think with that bullpen that they have, even before they got Kimbrel, that bullpen was good. So looking at their games recently, so they played Toronto. They split with Toronto recently. I would call Toronto a good team. Tampa Bay, they lost 2 out of 3. Oakland, they did take 3 out of 4. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Yankees in the, that was the Field of Dreams game. That was the Field of Dreams series. Where they had 1 game in the Field of Dreams, which I can't wait for that again. Then you go back to July. They did win 2 out of 3 against the Astros. Earlier on, though, I think they lost to Houston. Where else did they lose to Houston? Oh, yeah, so they got swept here by Houston. A 4-game sweep back in June. So, that's a while ago. But, I don't know, 2 out of 3 in July. So, they definitely put up some runs there. 10-1, 4-0 here. That's the one thing with the White Sox I do wonder about is what's going to happen if they run into the Rays in the first round. Well, actually, would they really run into the Rays? If we look at the playoff picture as of right now, if we look at the best record, so Tampa Bay would have the number 1 record or the number 1 seed right now. You're looking at right now, projected. Right now, you'd have the Yankees, Red Sox in the wild card game. Either of those two would play the Rays, and then you would have the Astros and the White Sox. So, they got swept by Houston early on, and then they took 2 out of 3 against Houston. So, I wonder. I think that would be a really tough series. That would be very interesting. I don't know. I don't know. In terms of talent, I would probably lean towards the White Sox in terms of overall talent. But the Astros have that winning pedigree. I know, I understand the trash cans. Don't kill me in the comments here. But the Astros, they got winning players. At the end of the day, these guys, they want to win. I'm not saying the Astros or the White Sox don't want to win either. But, Houston, they've been there. They were, whatever, say what you want, but they were 1 game away from the World Series last year. They were in the World Series in 2019. I understand the cheating. I know, but whatever. I don't know. But Houston, they're a good team this year. That would be a really close series. I think that would go 5, personally. So, I think the White Sox, they definitely have the talent. If you look at their team, let me pull up their rotation right now. Obviously, they're good across the board. The question is can they do it in a 5-game series against a tough team like an Astros team? We know this offense is good enough to thump I mean, they could definitely take it to the Astros starting pitching. I definitely think they are capable of doing that. Their starting pitching, I think, is good enough to take on the Astros lineup. I think it's good enough. Lucas Giolito, I picked him to win the Cy Young this year, and he has just, come on. He's having a good year, but I thought this guy was really just going to have a phenomenal year this year, like a huge year, and just hasn't put it together. How in the world is Robbie Ray having a better season than a Lucas Giolito? I mean, like, who saw that happening? But, Rodon's been great this year. Even Dylan Cease has been good recently. Where is Lance Lynn? Something wrong with his knee. What's going on with Lance Lynn? So he's going to miss one start. Okay. But Lance Lynn's having a good year. So I think this White Sox team, they are good enough to win a division series. I definitely think so. But it's not going to be easy. I mean, because they're going to have to go up. Right now, they're going up against a good Astros team in the first round. So, bearing any unforeseen, crazy things happening like the Mariners winning that division or the A's or whatever, right now it's looking like we're going to get Astros White Sox. That's going to be a really good series. I think that could definitely go 5. I think that's actually pretty even. That's a pretty evenly matched series. I think the White Sox, you could say they have a better bullpen. But when it comes down to playoffs, and then you got Tony La Russa. I mean, hey, Tony La Russa, he's got a few World Series under his belt. I would probably lean towards the White Sox. I think a lot of people will want to lean towards the White Sox because everyone hates the Astros, but I'm not going to count the Astros out at all. Everyone was counting them out last year. I had the Twins beating the Astros in that wild card series, and then the Astros almost made it to a World Series. So, I'm leaning towards the White Sox advancing in that. If this was the first round matchup, I'm leaning towards White Sox there, but I'm not surprised if the Astros win that series. So it can go either or. Could definitely go either or. And then another question here, Yankees, I see you in the chat. Tony La Russa, old school ways. How's that going to play in today's game in the playoffs? You know what I would love to see? Here's what I really want to see. I want to see a White Sox Rays ALCS. Here's why. I think you already know why. Because you got new baseball, you got the new age baseball of analytics and Kevin Cash going up against the White Sox and classic Tony La Russa. That's what I want. Give me that. I want to raise White Sox ALCS just for that sole reason. Kevin Cash versus Tony La Russa. That's what I want. Give me it. I mean, hey, I would love my Red Sox to make it, but I mean, I would, that would be so much focus on the managers in that series because you got to think last year with Kevin Cash, a lot of people got onto him because of the analytics, but a lot of people are getting on to, Tony La Russa. At least before the season, they were saying, "Oh, he's gonna be too old school." Well, it's like, wait, it's like extreme opposites at that point. So, I would love it. I would love it. I think that would be a really entertaining series. Hey, we'll have to wait and see. But the White Sox, I definitely think they have what it takes to make it past the first round. It's not going to be easy, though. It's not going to be easy. So I agree, David Knight. I think you should use analytics, but you should also have a feel for the game as well. And that's where Kevin Cash really goofed last year, was a feel for it. Snell was balling out in that game against the Dodgers. Why he got pulled, I don't know. But that's what I'm thinking. But let me know what you guys think here in the chat. Let me know. Do you think the White Sox are going to have an early exit in the playoffs this year? Let's see what you guys think. You guys have been awesome tonight. Still 125 people in the chat. You guys are awesome. Let's see what you guys think. White Sox early exit in the playoffs. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Southsider immediately saying absolutely not. MLB brother, goes Strohs. I think the White Sox are going to have an early exit, says Trey Switzer. Kyle with the thumbs down. Adam Duvall hits a 477-foot home run. We've been getting a lot of these just tank shots this year. Didn't they make the ball like not juiced? A lot of these balls are just getting out of here. Yankees 286 gives himself the thumbs up. David Knight with the thumbs down. Matthew Pope, get me WWE channel. Do you have a WWE channel? Many of you don't know, I like me a little bit of wrestling. I'm excited for AEW All Out this weekend. The return of CM Punk back in the ring. I'm excited. Robbie, who's getting Player of the Month in the show? In MLB The Show? Is that what you're asking me? I don't know. I'd have to go look. Or are you just talking about for the actual season? I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. Chris Raskin, I am not surprised that you just said that. Do you know how many times? So I'm in Orlando, so we have like a lot of like NXT around here. A lot of NXT fans. And do you know how many people, I swear it's like one person per week says like, hey, you look like that Sheamus guy from WWE. I went to WWE Raw at the Amway Center, and I swear to you, like people were walking by saying, hey, Sheamus, what's going on? I'm like, I will always look like Sheamus. I just want to meet the guy. I just want to meet him. I just want to get a photo with him. That's all I want, is just to say, be like, hey, look, it's me. Because everyone calls me Sheamus. Anyway, yeah, David Knight, I agree. It should be fun. Alex Jones, I've actually been told that in the stream as well, in another stream. But everyone, I'm going to get out of here. Matthew Pope, I am excited about that as well. Daniel Bryan, that should be exciting. But everyone, a good night of hot takes. This was a very fun night. It was a bit of a slow stream last night. If you didn't see that stream from last night, go check it out. I gave my predictions and key players for the final month of the season. So definitely go take a look at that stream if you did not catch it last night. But hey, a good night tonight. We had over 100 people the entire night tonight. So always nice. We had some super chats tonight. I really appreciate that, everyone. Again, I just want to announce this. I said it last night, and I said it on the power rankings on this past Sunday. I'm not here this Sunday. I've already mentioned once or twice tonight. I'm going to Boston this weekend. I'm going to Fenway Park. Going to go see the Red Sox this weekend against the Indians. I'm pretty excited. I'm a happy boy going back to Fenway Park. It's always a good time when I can go to Fenway Park. So, everyone, I want to thank you for coming out tonight. If you guys can, hit that like button for me before you get out of here. Anyone new, hit that subscribe button for me. Hit the bell buttons. Hit all the buttons. But, everyone, thank you. Have a good Friday tomorrow. Have yourself a good weekend. Look out for maybe an upload. I'm not quite sure. I might go live tomorrow night, maybe. So be on the lookout for a stream, maybe tomorrow night. But everyone, have yourself a good night. Have a good Friday tomorrow. And I'll talk to you next time.